Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And Joshua Gray.
You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John, Josh, and Matt back at you again here from the hive of scum and villainy. What's going on, dudes?
We need to vary up your intro a little bit.
No, we don't.
Because Matt's always last, and you're always first.
Yeah.
So you need to, like, Matt, John.
I'm going in
like,
alphabetical order. John, Josh, Matt.
That's true. You save the best for last.
He's always last.
That's fine. I'm okay with this.
Okay.
I like being the caboose.
Except for
How's it going, guys?
Oh, man.
Somebody give me a clicky pen. I'm not going to...
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Give
you
me the
take that
pen.
before I start putting in audio artifacts everywhere.
So Critical X has a new podcast out.
the objectively better Critical X.
Is this their quarterly Patreon reward?
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Oh, wow. Yay!
No, they put a new T-shirt design out there, which, number one, I'd like to claim royalties on it because
you should.
I said it first, but they have a objectively better shirt, which, number one, too soon?
Too soon? Maybe. I don't
know.
R.I.P. But but
there's
no,
only one X now. Sad. I'm gonna go back and change the logo again.
Hey, but props to Kevin Valier for picking up those articles and carrying on the torch because
yes, very cool.
Thank you, dude.
Because there's a lot of great stuff that Impact X brought us over the last year. And
so where is the new home now?
It's on his Imperial Discipline. Site, which hey, he's going to increase his traffic on there.
Sure, hopefully. Absolutely.
I still go back and reference a lot of those articles.
Yeah, they're really good.
That's some great content we don't want to lose.
Yeah, exactly. So
see how long it stays relevant, I guess.
You know what? It should stay relevant for quite a while, I think.
For
There's
sure.
a lot of good information on there. Speaking of good information, this isn't on the show, but no, we got some cool stuff to talk about this week. I think with the Sabine article reveal that we saw, we got a little preview of her. And, of course, this week we also saw the release of the top 32 cut from Invader League Season 3. So with that, LJ was nice enough to put out the lists.
Data.
And we got some data to go over. So we're going to take a look at some of those lists, what we're seeing trending in the meta, what that might mean for those of us who just play the actual miniature tabletop game and don't have some of those
we don't have
out there yet.
We play real war, not fake war.
Or some of us in my case who just aren't smart enough to figure out the actual the app. There's that too.
Wah, wah, wah.
Here's $10. Go have a Star Wars.
So we're gonna take a look at what that means for your upcoming meta for you guys who are playing the RPQs, like us, who are planning on going to one next week.
Is that next week?
It's the St. George.
Remind me to make sure that.
Oh, and by the way,
when
you're traveling up to St. George, they're an hour ahead of us. Leave accordingly.
I actually did not even think about that.
Because you will end up showing up there, hello kids, and be like, oh, you're in the middle of round one. Damn.
Wait, but then Arizona, the Prescott RPQs next week as well, and are they an hour ahead right now?
I don't know. Arizona's weird.
They do their own thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're not a time zone at all. Because they don't do...
No, they are a time zone.
They are.
Okay.
They just don't do daylight savings.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure right now what that qualifies as. They're in like some weird Twilight Zone limbo. Anyway. So we'll talk about the upcoming RPQs that we're playing in, and of course we're gonna do live stream. So we'll get some details on that.
I was gonna save this for Star Wars news, but we are.
Hey Matt, let's do Star Wars news.
Hey, let's start out. We're doing a stream tomorrow night. We've had people contacting, asking when we're going to stream again. So we're actually going to be streaming live tomorrow night, Friday night, as you're hearing this. What is tomorrow? The 17th. The 17th. Trying to shoot around for 7 p.m. PST. And we're going to be on my Twitch channel. It's Captain_Archer, Archer, on Twitch. So you can give that a follow ahead of time, get the go live notification. Otherwise, we'll be posting it up, I'm sure, in the Legion Facebook group and all that. Maybe we can throw one up on the Outriders, but it's going to be John facing down top table contender from LVO, Jeff Meltier, in a Rebel Off, the likes of which we have never seen.
Or we've
except for
seen
the
a couple
last
times,
time
but
that you guys played it, yeah.
No, I like playing against Jeff.
He's a fantastic opponent,
he is.
and I'm excited to see what you guys do with your list.
Yeah.
And I will be there hosting chat and moderating and doing all that.
That's good because you're so much better to listen to than me.
Are you kidding me?
In the middle of a
There's
game?
a reason you're the host for the podcast.
Yeah, in the middle of a
my
game,
God.
but I don't have the brain capacity.
No.
to multitask
I'll
like
try
that.
not to be interrupting, but I will be interacting with chat and having a good time. But
No, that's good because you provide great side banter and like play by play. And as I'm like playing the game, if I have to try to like do the microphone too,
the trouble is me actually focusing on the game and paying attention, not like, so do you guys think Boba Fett might have been able to crawl out of the Sarlacc? Or how do you... no, I guess Jeff lost. Never mind. Game over. But anyways, yes, we're going to be doing that tomorrow. So once again, twitch.tv/captain_archer. Otherwise, Star Wars news, we've got... It was George Lucas's birthday the other day. Happy birthday, Uncle George.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yay.
Congratulations on no longer being the worst writer in Hollywood.
Oh, man. There's some really good articles coming out about this season, I got to say, just to kind of get behind the peaks looks at how these show writers and coming from source materials and all that interact. It's pretty it's interesting stuff. I've been having fun.
Wait, this season of what?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
That show you watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the dragons.
With
and
one
the-
episode left.
So I think we need, like, before we get too far into it, I think about a month ago we revealed that D.B. Weiss and David Benioff were actually going to be doing something with Star Wars. We didn't say it was going to be...
Nothing has been confirmed yet. Everything. So a lot of news sites are picking this and like, oh, it's confirmed. It's not confirmed. Lucas or Disney, as far as I know, I might be wrong in this, but I keep looking at those articles and looking for an official Disney announcement. There is none yet. So,
But, I mean, like, we've gotten some pretty... the sources that are saying it now are reliable sources, not movie.
yeah, these are also the sources that are saying we're going to get Kenobi film. Lots of things can happen before the initial announcement.
True.
We just know that there's another trilogy on the way.
But I was pumped for it about 2 months ago before season 8 ever dropped, and right now I'm at the lowest point of like, is Rian Johnson available?
Well, apparently he is
yet,
because I could have sworn I read an article saying he was parting ways with Disney, but they haven't actually. They keep throwing his name around in the articles again. But I'm still guessing that he is not. His name is not in the hat.
I don't want any of their names in the hat. Just give it all to Taika Waititi. All of it.
All of it? Yeah.
All
Okay.
of it.
Yeah. All right.
He's the only showrunner that I have faith in right now.
Does Robert Downey Jr. do any directing? He might be able. He's got some free time now,
I don't
right?
know. Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. Okay. We're gonna have a gritty
Jedi World.
Give it to
No,
Mel
thanks.
Gibson.
No.
There was an interesting.
Passion of the Jedi. That'd be great.
Not to get too far off on a tangent. I started watching the Love, Robot, Sex, Death thing, whatever, on Netflix.
Yes.
Love, Death, and Robots.
Yes, that's the one.
There you go.
I got through 3 episodes. Did they show them in a random order?
For some people, yes.
Okay.
Like, some of my friends have seen it in one order, the same order I saw it in.
Oh, okay.
And then it's totally randomized. It's not based off of anything. What were your first 3 episodes?
So I got 3 robots,
Uh-huh.
Beyond Aquila Station.
Okay, yeah, you got a different...
Totally random order.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
the Fight Pit one that I forget the
Okay.
name of.
Yeah, Aquila Rift was like the 8th or 9th one. for
Yeah.
me.
I'd see. That's what
It was like
I
right
think
after
John
Lucky
had told me,
13
and I
or
was like,
something, yeah.
I think this is that one he told me was kind of dark. And I
Yeah,
was like,
they-
oh yeah, this is real dark.
Yeah, they
Okay.
have.
It was good though. I liked it.
It was
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, there's like 4 different orders that they show, and it's just completely random.
Oh, okay.
As to who
Interesting.
gets it. So
But
But yeah, watch the rest of them. They're good.
okay,
they're
I will.
phenomenal.
Yeah, some of them have a little bit
I
of
like
Star
the 3
Wars vibe
robots.
to
I'm
them,
glad
too.
that
Yeah.
was the first one I got to watch.
Yeah, that was,
Suits,
it was
Suits
good.
is really good.
You'll like
Okay.
Suits.
All right. Yeah, I'll probably finish watching them tonight. But anyways,
Is that it for Star Wars news?
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Lots
not
of
a whole lot
comics. I'm actually starting to read up on the comics again. So
You want to talk about our game?
good stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about. Well, so last week when it was the monthly tournament here at Power 9, and we did a couple of rounds. We did like 2.5 rounds.
Yeah.
Not everybody wanted to stick around for third round, but
Right.
that's fine. So you played your first round. Who'd you have in your first
I
round?
played
Josh?
Daniel in my first round, and it was kind of a mirror match.
Daniel Roberts?
Yeah, Daniel Roberts.
Okay.
Kind of a mirror match, stormtroopers, DTs, DLTs, snipers, Veers, and then I had a Krennic.
Middle
And-
management list.
Middle management list, yeah. And everybody, for the game, the defensive roles were perfectly average. He made every save except for like 3, and I missed every save except for like 3.
Statistically
So
average for the game.
statistically,
Okay.
the game was perfectly average. In reality, I got my ass handed to me because, DTs made like 1 save the entire game, and it was
A trend that would continue.
yes, exactly. Well, I'm noticing a theme developing.
Right.
Although the dice got me back in a big way my second
they sure
game.
did.
So I ended up basically conceding in like the middle of round 3. It was that bad.
wow.
Yeah. Well, he was still he had like 3 dead guys.
Largely
and I had like
tabled, yeah.
Yeah, and I had like half my stuff gone. It was like nah. I'm not even going to sit here and bother trying to So that was not fun. Second game I played with Matt, and it was a pretty interesting setup.
Yes.
He had Luke with the satellite dish of love and the T-47 with the speeder jockey.
I want to
And-
try out, once again, dusting off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Rebels and trying out some new things that I've been wanting to for a while. But yeah, so had,
T-47 with the speeder jockey is okay.
it's not bad.
It's not going to
Having
win
heavy
you the
cover
game,
was kind
but-
of fun. I still fell into a couple of your traps there that allowed you to just kind of neutralize it.
Yeah.
But that was more of a credit to your, generalship there. And I totally went for the bait, so that was good.
But I mean, you did a good job. I mean, it pretty much wiped out an entire DT squad.
Yeah, I think I had until pivotal turn 3. What
Turn
what
4.
was the objective?
It was turn 4. So we were playing intercept the transmissions, hostile environment, and
Yes.
Matt learned a very important
Oh, my
lesson
goodness.
that if you're going to deploy that FD tower in hostile environment,
Make sure it's
deploy it
touching something, yo.
something.
Oh yeah, because it is a trooper.
Yeah. So he just kind of left it hanging out there in the middle of the board.
It's got such a good field of fire here. It's going to be so good. Oh, no.
And I was able to basically range for it down and load it with suppression. And did it get to shoot? It shot once.
yeah, I got
think.
one shot
Yeah.
off. That's why I was like, screw it. I'm doing the barrage generator.
Yeah.
We got to do it while we can.
But I mean, to Matt's credit, between largely the T-47 and some really nice Z6 rolls, you had me on the ropes. Most of my I think I only had one full strength squad. Most of
Yeah.
them was like 2 guys in a DLT, down a sniper team. So things were looking pretty grim.
Yeah, and I had staged my Luke in such a way where he was basically locked in combat with 2 of your stormtrooper squads.
Locked
Yeah.
in. I mean, so turn 3, he jumps his Luke over a building
Yeah.
and like wipes out one of my squads. It's like just the squad leader left,
That's what Luke does.
but the unit's still engaged. So I had a full strength unit of stormtroopers with a shot at his T-47, which they shot unaimed, killed the T-47, and then they moved into base-to-base contact with Luke.
Well, there were some other
Because-
things that we missed there before because I don't want to gloss over because it was actually brilliant. So I had my T-47 is poised. You had used the ability where 2 of the Death Troopers had standby.
Right.
Immediately. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, crap. Well, let me get Luke up here, and maybe he can, because I had force push. I was like, I'll
Right.
pull them out. They'll drop it. You're like, oh, you completed a move. Well, I'm going to fire at the T-47. I was like, no!
Oops. Yeah. So, but that unit ends up, full up unit, and I'm like, all right, it's turn 4. Son of Skywalker's obviously coming.
Obviously.
I'm going to move 2 units into base-to-base contact with him, so at least he attacks and he's like there, right? He can't.
Mm-hmm.
He's tied up. He's got to waste
was
both units right
so
here.
beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, and literally, this is like the last of my combat power. I've got like Krennic, Veers, a sniper unit, and like 2 squads with like the leader and the DLT, and that's it. He's got 2 full strength squads, and then 2 leaders in cover with the Z6s that are just. And his Z6s were doing great.
They were doing work.
Like,
It was fantastic.
Like he rolled a Z6 and he had a leader in his Z6, and he rolled against one of my guys in cover, right, touching a barricade, heavy cover.
Yep.
4 crits.
Ooh.
It's like, what do I got to do to win this game? Like, you got to be kidding me, right?
The crits were with me. It was fantastic.
The crits were very much with it.
Z6 are fickle.
Yes,
no,
they are.
absolutely. About as fickle as his red dice were that game as well.
Oh, that feels bad.
Yeah, he didn't save a single Death Trooper.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I saved one.
One. Okay.
One, yeah.
Well.
Yeah, it was kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
Turn 4, Son of Skywalker obviously comes out.
Yeah,
right?
he called it turn 3.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, here comes Son of Skywalker.
Son of Skywalker. I was
Well,
like, yep, you're right.
I tossed Voracious Ambition.
I was
which
like,
gave us a 1-pip tie,
Yeah.
and because of Krennic's cunning, I win.
And I said, oh no.
But his Luke has 4 health left.
Yeah.
I mean, he took like
pretty
one
good
sniper
shape.
shot and then took 1 wound from the Death Troopers earlier. So he's in a good spot, right?
Sure,
yeah. 4 wounds against 5 dice from a stormtrooper unit punching.
You should
be
live.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you weren't facing stormtroopers.
So I aimed, took an aim
Yep.
and punched. 5 hits.
I was like, oh boy, I'm going to have to pass a couple of these.
Matt rolls a surge and 4 blanks.
He's
No,
straight up
I'm sorry.
5 blanks.
He rolled a save.
Yeah, I got
a
one
surge,
save, a surge,
and 3 blanks.
And 3 blanks, yeah.
Which is 4 blanks.
Which is
essentially.
4 which is 4 damage. So Trooper Steve and his boys basically punched Luke Skywalker to death.
They gave him the boots medium style, and
Yeah.
it was all over.
and then Krennic and Krennic, I like Krennic. Like Krennic is really good late game at just going out and cleaning up two trooper units.
Sure.
I mean, he's kind of
Yeah.
he's like he's the cleaner.
Yeah.
He's
Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's the
Oh,
Hoover
no,
man.
yeah, he's basically, all right, well, let's dust off. Pressure's off, boys. Let's just clean up these units, call it a day. Get set for team medals by noon.
I trotted Krennic out there, and he had a Z6 unit. Just the dude in the Z6, got him out around the cover, took those 2 guys
Zapped him out,
down.
yeah.
So was that Luke, that fiasco, did that pretty much swing the game?
Oh, that
It
was
did.
it. Yeah,
that was
that
it.
was-
Yeah,
100%.
Because
Yeah.
I was able to then rotate. He had to bring what was left of his firepower. He had to bring it all the way through like a doorway,
Okay,
and I was
yeah.
able to just focus those guys down. And that Veers walked out and put 3 hits on one of those units. Like Veers, like nice shot, dude. I guess.
Yeah.
And you,
I mean,
and you questioned why I said stormtroopers were the MVP unit over Luke Skywalker. Right there.
There it is.
There it is.
watching Luke Skywalker, I kind of hate myself for doing it, but as soon as he rolled his defense dice, I'm like,
Yeah, no, that was absolutely a celebration.
because that was the
I mean-
that was the only way I was going to win the game.
Yeah.
If Luke gets Son of Skywalker off there, I've got like
I clean up his 2 big units.
I've got
and
2
then-
dudes left,
yeah.
a Death Trooper left, and then Krennic and Veers, and that's it. So
Yeah, I wasn't quite as sanguine about it as I am right now in the moment. I
yeah,
I
he
can
was
imagine.
kind
I
of
was
like
a little sad.
he was.
but-
Were you
Yeah.
Han
was a
Solo,
good game,
Han
though.
Solo lost
I
by
felt
1 millimeter,
good,
man?
but-
It was.
Yeah.
It was. If you're familiar with the with Reddit, it was the subreddit "Watch People Die Inside." That was it.
And
That
this
would
is
have
the
qualified.
moment, Yeah,
And it was a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a
it
good.
was. It
good,
was.
You know,
I was
Yeah.
happy that I was able to execute most of what I wanted to do during the game, playing out with some new units, other than the satellite dish of love being torqued down real early. But overall, I felt really good about it, and it was just that one kind of twist of fate,
Ugh.
But it was good. It was a lot of
good.
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A game that
It was a
comes
fun
down
game.
to like 1 epic dice roll is usually a good game.
Yeah.
Even if it
But
goes.
I was
totally
thinking
poorly.
about you the entire time, just so you know. Not in
so?
a weird way. No, because you had basically the same thing happen with you, with your Luke. and
Oh,
LJ.
against LJ?
Yeah.
No, except for it was
It's
the
like,
opposite. It was where, his Death Troopers would not miss saves.
Well,
Right.
one way or another, Luke will fail his
I mean,
dice.
the thing for it for me, it's like you kill characters in this game, and it's like usually it's a barrage of fire, and eventually you chip them down. It's
Yeah.
like no. Like one stormtrooper unit just walked up to Luke and basically American history X'd him. I mean,
Full on curb stomp? Okay,
yeah, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. That paints a picture there.
Right. Well, speaking of unstoppable characters, we got a preview article this week.
That was a hell of a segue, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Very cool. And speaking of the new meta with Luke.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, we got a preview article for Sabine. And even though we'd seen most of her cards already revealed from the live stream that Luke and Alex did, we did get to see a upgrade card that we didn't know about.
The explosive artist.
No, we've seen that.
Well,
No, that's just the name of the article.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Electro Whip.
Yeah. So we got to see her version of the whipcord.
Yeah. Whipcord.
So
Whip.
first of all, I mean,
Why are you saying it
a
like
lot of
that?
people I don't know. He put the H before the W.
What do you mean?
What?
So she's got an upgrade it's different than the whipcord. A lot of people are just calling it whipcord, or it's different.
The electro
Functionally,
grappling line?
But it's not functionally the same though.
You can't. It's tappable.
Yes.
And you can't disengage with it.
And
That's
it
the only
costs
difference.
an action to do.
Well, it costs an action to do, sure. But you can also do it with a recover. You can do it 4 or 5 times a game.
So would
So-
you rather have this than the whipcord card?
I'd have neither. Because it's an equipment upgrade, so you're giving up
5-point upgrade.
It's a 5-point upgrade. You're
Yeah.
giving up both the shield, which has utility, but you're also giving up
absolutely.
stims on a character with 5 health. So
Well, do we want to read it for people that may not have seen it?
yes, go ahead.
So it is a tappable, as was mentioned. Choose an enemy trooper unit at range 1 and in line of sight. It gains 2 immobilized tokens and 2 suppression tokens.
So it's the whipcord, without being able to disengage.
It's without being able to disengage, and it also costs an action.
Yes.
So it's exhaustible and costs you an action. So on a character who I would say is probably the most,
You want them moving,
the one
and hitting. Yeah.
moving, hitting, taking a dodge with her nimble ability. Like she has a lot of things that are going to require her to be really, really conservative about her actions.
Yeah.
And having to spend one of those 2 actions to do that,
Right.
It seems
not
like
as
a
good.
very specific. Like I could see it. If you're going to try to keep somebody off an objective that they're going to need to double move for,
Sure.
or something.
It's a good card for usage on the turn that you drop the hero of Mandalore or whatever the name of her 3-pip.
Yes.
Where by issuing orders you get an aim or a dodge token. So
Legacy of Mandalore.
Legacy of Mandalore.
Yep.
Thank you. You issue an order to a commander, an operative, or a special forces unit, and you could choose between getting an aim or a dodge.
Yeah.
So if you hand out orders, issue one to her. She's an operative. That gets her. That ups the action economy a little bit.
Sure.
If you're in a defensible position, you can zap them, immobilize them, and shoot from behind cover. I think where Sabine really loses out is no sharpshooter. That's big. That's really big.
It can be, but I would still say that if you're using her high movement value and ability to jump to get behind someone who's in cover, I think that you can kind of mitigate some of that.
Sure.
I think that
Plus, you don't need sharpshooter with the Darksaber, so.
That's
true
that's a
too.
good point.
Right. Yeah.
With going back to the whipcord or her whipcord card, I would say that the biggest distraction for me is that it is taking up one of those upgrade slots. 5 points, that's great. That's a cheap upgrade.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But I would rather have emergency sims.
Absolutely.
And I think the shield, depending on how you want to play her, the shield may be a better upgrade as well. So
Sure.
you are competing for those upgrade slots.
The shield is, the
points.
shield can still be pierced.
Yeah.
So it's, it has it's only 1. It adds 1 block, which can then be pierced.
Yeah, but you can do a recover.
You can do a recover and get it back. So
Well, that's what Impervious is for.
well, yeah, and there's that too. But hey,
She's a very well-defended character.
Sure.
Between Nimble, her personal shield, her Impervious, and her red dice with Surge for Defense, I think it's clear she's the best defense rebel character we've seen yet.
sure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even at 5 health, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that there's even without the personal combat shield, I don't think that she's definitely, that she's weak by any means.
Oh no, and I don't think anybody's saying that.
Yeah, there was somebody who said that this week.
Opinions are like fanboys. Wait.
Well, we don't have any fanboys.
No, I'm totally a fanboy.
yeah.
Hello.
Okay. But I've seen people roll. Look at my Death Trooper rolls.
Yeah.
They have surge to block, and how many of those did I whiff on? Playing you. A lot.
A fair amount.
Yeah. So with 5 health, it takes 1 or 2 bad rolls, even with Impervious.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
there goes Sabine.
from somebody who played years of 40K is pretty much only Space Marines, 3-up saves fail a lot.
A lot, yeah. So I'd want stims, personally.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
But, your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
Flavor to taste.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about Sabine coming up because I think she's featured heavily in some of these.
Do you have some lists already designed with her in mind?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I can't wait to hear.
Now that
Do you have any that don't include Luke?
A couple, but they feature heavily with Luke.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But coming up, we're going to take a break, and then tabletop simulator list.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. So Sabine is
Matt, Josh, and John here with you.
All right. Fine.
Well played, sir. Well played.
We'll put your name first. That's fine.
For now.
For now. Don't do that to yourself.
So with the Invader League single elimination starting up now, they're down to the top 32, and LJ was nice enough to post the lists for all of the 32 seeds. And he's got them ranked in order of
Mr. Invader
of where they've placed so far. And we've seen, talking about Sabine, we've seen her in quite a few of the Rebel lists.
Well, what's the breakdown between? Because I was expecting to see more Rebels.
Last season I think there was a slight edge to Rebels, not by a lot. This season it's heavily Imperial.
Wow.
21 versus 11 just from the top 32.
From the 32.
So we're looking at about a 66%. Imperial, which is a pretty significant.
Reports are Bosk is doing work.
Oh, yeah?
Like Double
Really?
Bounty Hunters is killing it.
I'm actually kind of happy about that.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of Bosk lists. Double Bounty is a significant thing.
Are we able to see how they're winning the games? Is it actually the bounty victory tokens or just them as like super solos?
I'm not sure. That's probably a question that we can ask LJ when next time we have him on, because I think he's probably got a little bit more data on that. But just based on the breakdown of the lists, we're seeing a lot of dual bounty hunter with Imperial Officer, dual bounty hunter with Veers.
Oh, with the Imperial. Okay, I was going to say over Veers.
Or with Krennic.
Okay.
It looks still like a lot of Veers and or Krennic as the Imperial Officer of choice.
All right.
Bosk seems to be very prevalent with or without Boba. It looks like, still got a lot of stormtroopers out
He's
there.
the new hot.
Funny thing is, the number one list overall, the number one seed overall, has an occupier tank.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got First Sergeant Arbmab.
Okay. So he's moving it.
No hard point upgrade. Just basically 160 points upgrade for just movement. But scouts are still scout strike teams, snipers are still prevalent. I think
they're not going anywhere. So.
Going through, I think there were only 5 lists that didn't feature at least 2.
Ugh.
And another thing
at least 2.
Yeah.
So there was plenty with 3. It sounds like
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing we're seeing a lot of is the inclusion of medical droids.
Oh.
With the snipers.
Okay. With the snipers?
With the snipers. Not obviously not in the same unit.
Oh, okay.
But as basically extra wounds for the snipers.
Interesting.
And Nick Freeman kind of did this a little bit going back to Adepticon at High Command. He was using Chewie as kind of a wound sponge for his snipers.
Oh, just providing the Guardian?
Providing Guardian, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas this also kind of works because it's just giving those wounds back.
Okay, so just making him tank, just putting on like a basic stormtrooper unit and with a medical droid for 60 some odd points.
Hide it behind a piece of cover.
Yeah.
And getting into the math of it, No Disintegrations, I think it's Luke Cook, put out a video recently kind of talking about how the math works on that. And essentially, the medical droid is an 18-point upgrade, which really is only a 7-point upgrade because you figure that 11 points is for an extra trooper anyway.
Right.
But it's a 7-point upgrade where basically you're getting 2 extra wounds to feed to a sniper unit who's 44 points anyway. So essentially, it's 22 points a wound. You're getting 3 times the economy.
Because you're bringing the sniper back,
Exactly.
essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're saving yourself, a ton of points and getting a lot more economy out of it.
Right.
So it's a smart move.
Okay, you lost me because I'm still thinking about Ewoks and gliders. I'll assume it's good though.
No, it's getting a lot of value, and this is some higher level stuff. That's
See what happens when we talk about meta.
I'm sorry. No, that was actually.
Don't you just
really
want us to
useful.
make Ewok poop jokes?
I could go for some calf right now.
right? I already had three cups of coffee today, so I don't know if I need that. Plus Ewok calf, who knows what's in that?
Yeah,
I know what's in that.
some berries.
So yeah, we're seeing a lot of those kind of lists from the Imperials. They've got a little bit more variety based on the fact that I think we've seen over the last 3 months, we've seen a lot of releases for Imperials that are shaping the meta, or at least playable within the meta. Whereas, Rebels, the last three things that have come out have been Jyn, Pathfinders, and the Speeder. And while they're fun to play, and I've made a lot of lists with them, I don't think they're meta changing. I don't see
They're
them.
not centerpieces.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't think they're.
They offer you an option, but it's not the obvious go-to option.
They're not
so-
the feature point of your army. Right.
Yeah, and there's certain ways to use them, but like I said, I don't think that they're going to win any tournaments anytime soon.
I'm gonna go back and say, what did you mean by that, Josh? They're not the feature point of your army, because I think if you are building with them a list, you are planning around them.
Well,
not to go back to a
Sure,
Jyn and the
sure.
Pathfinders,
I mean, like you think about
Susie and the Banshees.
you think about your other options for the Rebels. You're building it around characters, right?
Right.
That do a lot for your army, that enhance other people, that have offensive abilities.
Synergy.
Luke is your beat stick, right? Luke's going to get in there and he's going to get close and he's just going to do damage.
No, Luke is my beaten stick.
Well,
Yes.
yours.
Yeah.
If you're putting Pathfinders in there, you're just putting them in there as a distraction tactic. You're putting them in
You
there
think?
to screw with the enemy.
I haven't played with
You're
the
putting
Pathfinders
them in there.
Jyn, so
I use them a
I'm
lot,
really
and that
curious.
is generally what they're best at doing.
Okay.
You're not winning a game.
But you're not shaping your entire strategy around them.
You kind of have to, but then again, it
so
might
that
not
was
be
kind
the
of my
best
point.
strategy.
All right.
You can win a game with Luke as your only commander. You can win a game with Leia as your only commander.
Okay.
You can win a game with Han as your only commander. If you've got Chewie. You're really putting yourself behind the 8 ball if you're trying to win a game with Jyn as your only commander.
Okay.
In my opinion.
That sounds like a challenge.
I kind of agree with you. Every list that I've run effectively with Jyn is her working with another commander.
Okay.
I've tried one game with her as a solo commander, and
Right.
it doesn't work because you kind of want to leave her dangling out there.
Right.
And if she's the only commander, you don't want to do that.
Right. She's best forward. And if you've only got one commander, leading from the front is great, but that's
Bring
a good
on
way to
Gideon's 2 through 4.
Yeah, that's a really good way to find yourself nominating another commander.
Yeah.
And then with the X-34, it's great, but you're not, Spleemo's Wild Ride isn't isn't exactly going to be like, all right, this is my heavy hitter, right? It's the same thing. It's something. It's a
harassment
flanker.
unit,
It's a skirmisher. So you're not winning a game. You're not building your strategy around Pathfinder, Jyn, and Speeders.
Exactly, yeah.
I can build a strategy around that tank, Krennic, and Death Troopers, though.
Sure.
You
Okay.
betcha.
Okay.
So that's
I see
why
what you're saying.
a lot of the lists that we see from Rebels in this iteration of the Invader League aren't necessarily drastically different from what we saw in the last season. The one exception, of course, is Sabine.
Right. And I think that's going to be a piece that, yes, even though it's an operative, you can build your army around that. You get Luke, Sabine, some good support pieces, and now you've got two units that if you can deliver them close to the battlefield are going to wreck.
And top Rebel list, number the second seed overall is Nashiji. We've seen quite a bit. We saw him at LVO and he did pretty well. He's got the Wonder Twins and then Sabine, running Sabine with Recon Intel and Darksaber.
Luke, Leia, and
Luke,
Sabine.
Leia, and Sabine. And then 4 units of Rebel Troopers with Z6 and 3 sniper teams.
Jeez.
So he's still got the activation. You know, the risk you run by having both Luke, Sabine, and Leia is, you know, you're going to have a lower activation, but
snipers give you cheap activations,
and that's why you see snipers, because you know, you're essentially
Really, that's why you see snipers?
it is really
Not for hypervelocity and
hypervelocity is good, but you're only really taking a few.
Pierce and
that's why people who complain
sharpshooter
a lot about the sniper meta. It's like, well, you know, just snipers are, you know, just, you got to bring them, you got to tone them down. Like, well, no, really, they don't have. I don't think they have a huge impact on the game as much as they do with through
They're
Sorry,
activation.
annoying,
I'm just inserting new
but-
information to my brain that you're actually using them for orders as
Well-
opposed to having awesome rules.
It's a big reason for it.
Okay.
When Matt talks about shoving it into his brain,
I was physically putting
I just
my fingers
imagine.
into my brain.
I just imagine the end cinematic from the original Diablo, where he's taking the rock and just shoving
cramming
it
it
straight in
in
his
there,
forehead. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But you figure
There's already enough demons in my head. Don't need
3
extra.
units of sniper, you know, of sniper strike
It's under
teams.
150 points. It's 3 activations for under 150 points.
Okay, that's fair.
The only other way to get that for Imperials is to run 3 naked trooper squads. And why would you waste the points?
Yeah,
I mean,
and you know, when you're looking at what other
Because they
units,
can aim and beat the crap out of Luke.
when you look at what you're competing against, as far as, you know, for those special forces slots, you know, a unit of Pathfinders or a unit of Wookiees run, you know, how you should run them, run you about 120 points, and that's pretty much what 3 strike team sniper squads are going to cost you. So not only, you know, you may not make up for it, you may not get a ton of offensive firepower for it, but you're still getting 3 activations to 1,
Okay.
which I think is huge.
I mean,
great.
a cumulative ranged sharpshooter 3, pierce 3 isn't bad.
No, I mean, it's still good offensively,
Right?
I'm just saying it's not going to win you the game.
Yeah, it's not going to
single-handedly.
wipe an entire unit. You know, I think snipers are best doing what snipers do in the real world, hunting single dudes. You know,
I'm going to start building mine with Hunter too now, by the way.
yeah, it's useful. You know, Hunter on a unit. You know, once you get one wound on a commander, it's useful.
Yeah.
You know.
So the second rebel unit was the 3rd seed overall, and he's also running Luke, Sabine, no Leia,
Okay.
but Luke, Sabine, a bunch of Z6 troopers, and 3 sniper strike teams. So you've seen a lot of the same trends.
Yeah.
But like I said, with rebels, it seems to be all flavors of either Luke, Leia, Sabine, or Luke and Sabine.
Yeah.
A couple saboteur
Chewie.
lists. Yeah, not a lot of Chewie. Couple saboteur lists, both Rebel and Imperial. So
Good.
you know, still got a couple guys out there holding it down for the bomb squads.
I was getting on Jeff because he was like the guy in
He
our
was the
meta.
Sab King.
He was
Yeah.
the Sab King.
Yeah, I haven't seen
He
him
has-
in a while.
And I was like, that's why you're failing, because he's been on a little bit of a downturn. So
Well, I think he's trying out new lists.
he is.
and
He
that's.
is,
I mean,
but he got
realistically-
really good at those Sabs, and now
did,
that
yeah.
he took them away, I guess he kicked his crutch out from under himself.
Well, I don't. You know, I think a lot of people didn't know how to play against them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'll admit I'm one of those people. Like when I played against Daniel Lupo at LVO, who's, you know, phenomenal
Yeah.
player. I think he was one of the top 8 finishers at Worlds, I believe, or at Adepticon High Command. Dude knew how to play Sabs. That's what he's been playing for a while, and
Yeah.
I looked at his list. I'm like, I don't know what to do against this.
Guess I'll die.
Pretty much how it was. I mean, he's got, you know, like he's got 3 of those squads and then the FD turret. I'm like, well, okay, I don't know what to do against this because I've never seen
Going
this.
into no man's land today.
Yeah, so, you know, he taught me some lessons there, and you know, maybe Jeff will return to that, but, you know, with the last couple months, I think he and I have both been in the same trend of
In a
just
creative space.
yeah, trying out new lists. I really want Jin and the Pathfinders to work. I've been really trying to like kind of force them into stuff, which I've gotten some good results with it. But I think when you're looking at this, you know, ultra competitive, you know, what we're seeing in the top 32 from Invader League and from what guys are running at High Command, you need a very efficient list. And you're just not getting efficiency out of Jin or Pathfinders,
Nope.
I don't think.
Not at all.
But going into that, we'll see what I bring tomorrow, because I, you know, very well just made throw in some Jin and Pathfinder.
If we don't see at least one Spleemo, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I brought Spleemo last time, although I haven't brought him since he's been painted.
Spleemo!
So
He looks angry.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I mean, but he's...
Spleemo's got something to prove. Although, then again, I'd look angry if somebody shoved a magnet up my butt, too.
Is that why you're always so angry, Josh?
Yes.
So the shock collar
I've
is
got
necessary.
a magnet in my butt!
We just got to pull the magnet out.
You first.
Oh boy.
So we'll see if we can get LJ on sometime in the next couple weeks and
yeah.
have him talk probably after the season 3 wraps up, and see if we can get some insight from him.
One of those data shows again.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They're good.
It's better than listening to me prattle on about
I agree.
it, right?
Try and guess.
Yes, I
yeah.
agree.
I mean, me trying to pretend like I'm statistically inclined doesn't really go over too well.
Meta talk with John and Matt has been most interesting.
We'll stick with the Ewok calf and the
right?
magnets in your butt. That seems to be what we're better at.
So do you think it's the extra cranium capacity on the Moncals that make them such genius strategists, or are they actually just gifted?
I don't know, but in the Star Wars RPG we have going on Tuesday nights,
Oh gosh.
Oh, no.
talk time with Dr. Fishy always goes over pretty well.
What?
We've got one guy who is playing as because the Star Wars RPG, also by FFG, is there's a lot of different diverse character roles you can have. It's not
Yeah.
it's not as combat heavy as like
Sure.
D&D or Pathfinder, but one of our guys is playing as a Mon Calamari scholar. I think is that what his profession is.
Something.
career?
I don't even know.
He refers
He's
to himself
well, actually, guy.
That's Professor.
kind of.
Okay.
He refers to himself as Dr. Fishy
Yeah.
or Professor Fishy. And
He's gonna die.
spoiler: we're all gonna die.
Yeah. He put all of his points into just a brain stat with like no skills. He was just like, well, I guess I read about it somewhere, and I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah. So
It's,
if
pretty
we
bad.
if we need to
You should have him try and count toothpicks.
if we need to pour over some lore, or
like-
find some bureaucratic information, he's golden for it.
What are you doing in the rebellion?
I just heard you guys had free cake.
Yeah, but there was an incident this past session where he and my character, who is a Celestin heavy weapons guy, basically just carries around a heavy weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two of us were trying to place bets on one of our fellow characters who
God,
just
right.
entered into a swoop bike racing contest without notifying us ahead of time that he's actually wanted on several star systems for criminal activity. So the two of us walk up and enter this person by name, not knowing, of course, he has a criminal record. Say, into this thing where his name pops up with, probably some kind of mugshot, and then they're
Wanted
like, "Oh, look, this
felon,
guy's a wanted
Si."
felon.
Yeah.
He's entering in this majorly televised racing event." And then, of course, me being the genius decided, "Oh, well, after we enter this, criminal in there, let's turn around to the next door over and try to place a bet on him at a bookie."
Well, he basically, you're leaving some parts out because you like trash talked your team and like
I did, try
because
to
there was
drive
like
up those odds,
news reporters and they're like, oh, because they were taking over for a known racer.
Yeah, my
and they
inner Pete
wanted
Rose came
information.
out.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, the car is just kind of slapdash. We got a rookie that doesn't know what he's doing. Turns out he's a criminal too, I guess.
First of all, I really want to thank Ewok Cat for their support.
Yeah, yeah. and then immediately walked from there over to the booking office. Like, okay, I want to put 5,000 credits to win on our guy. And they're like, what?
Huh?
Look, I was just staying in character, okay?
Yeah,
That's something my character would have done. Professor Fishy didn't stop me.
Oh, okay.
So
you need a handler.
I placed this directly on Professor Fishy.
Professor Fishy sounds like the kind of guy why in Dungeons and Dragons, wisdom and intelligence are two totally different statistics.
Exactly.
Like, what is it? Forrest Gump had wisdom, not intelligence.
Right?
Well, then we also have the Jawa, gear operator who can only say Utini because Jawas don't have an actual communication. They don't speak
vocabulary.
common. And
They spray pheromones at people.
Would you say that Forrest Gump's dump stat was charisma?
No, I think people liked him just fine.
and luck.
Think so?
I mean,
No, luck. Luck's not a dump stat.
his dump. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I thought you meant
dump
like where
stat's
he
the
is.
one that you just like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
And you
Of course not.
reallocate
Of
those
charisma.
points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Int is dump
Int
stat.
was his dump stat. Let's be real
Okay.
here.
He took extra points in running. Just like we should run away from
Yeah,
this
his
show. I think we're done.
His con was off the charts.
On that note, Matt, do we have any new Patreon subscribers or people we should recognize before they leave us?
No, they already left. So
Yeah.
apparently not everybody liked our take from last week, but that's cool.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's got.
I liked our take from last week.
I think we handled it okay.
Hey, you know what? We actually, I don't know, gave our opinions on something that without being overly vitriolic or overly, polarizing on
We're
it.
a podcast. You're supposed to have opinions.
You keep that to yourself. But
That's just
we
your
are having.
opinion. That's like your opinion.
That's
man.
just like your opinion. We do have forward progress on the Barricade shirts. So
Yay!
hopefully we'll be having them up here in the next couple of weeks.
Yes,
Cool.
there should be a poll coming out this weekend. We're gonna do a survey of what sizes we need to order. So if you want a shirt, please vote in the poll. This does not commit you to buying a shirt.
We're just trying to get an eyeball.
A
on
good eyeball. We don't want to order 10 mediums and then sell 2 of them, and now we've got wasted inventory. When we really needed like 20 XLs and we only did 10. So we're just trying to gauge the room, see the temperature, see what sizes we need here.
But
so
if you
I just want the Splimo shirt.
If you
I
do
know, right?
vote and you don't buy a shirt, I will come to your house and sing Sarah McLachlan on your doorstep.
Well,
So-
consider me unsold.
Oh, I'm voting. I've already got one. I don't need to buy any. I'm voting.
of an angel.
It's the only one I know.
Okay.
It's the only one in my repertoire.
Is that like is that like the sad rescue dog song?
It is,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. And notice I only know it as the sad rescue,
Rescue
dog
Dog
song.
song,
You
That's
know.
pretty much all it's known for
Okay.
nowadays.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this week. Check us out next week on Legion Outriders Podcast.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter at Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.